It's the summer of 2013, and you are holding a hard drive in your hand. It's small, lighter than your phone, the kind of thing that lives in a drawer with dead pens and tangled chargers. You don't think about it. Why would you? It's broken. You stopped using that old laptop months ago, so you drop it in a black bag. You carry the bag out to the bin, and you don't look back. That's it. That's the whole moment. 3 seconds, maybe 4. You've already forgotten it by the time you're back inside making tea. What you don't know, what you can't know, is that you have just split your life into 2 halves. Everything before that bin and everything after. Because on that hard drive are 8,000 Bitcoin. In 2013, that's worth a little. Enough for a decent car. Not life-changing. Not yet. You mined them years earlier, back when Bitcoin was a toy for people who liked computers, when you could earn coins overnight on a laptop, and most people called it internet monopoly money. You kept the keys on that one drive, the only copy. And now it's in a bag, in a bin, on a truck, headed for a landfill on the edge of Newport, Wales. You're not famous. That's the thing you need to understand. You're not a billionaire who gambled and lost. You're just a guy who made an ordinary mistake on an ordinary afternoon. Then the price starts to climb. A few months later, you're reading the news, and Bitcoin is suddenly worth real money. And something cold moves through your chest. The drive, the bag, the bin. You drive to the landfill. You explain it to a man in a high-vis jacket. He's kind about it. He tells you the section you're describing is already under tens of thousands of tons of waste. A needle in a haystack, he says. Except the haystack is the size of a football pitch, and the needle is buried under a year of an entire city's garbage. You go home, and you do the math anyway. You can't stop doing the math. By 2021, your 8,000 Bitcoin would be worth hundreds of millions of dollars. At the peak, nearly 750 million. $500 million on a slow Tuesday. On paper, you are one of the richest men in the country, and you cannot touch a single penny of it. Here's what nobody tells you about losing a fortune. It isn't about the money. You never really held the money. You held a number, and the number was always somewhere else. What it takes from you is worse than money. It takes your peace. Because you can see it. That's the cruelty. It isn't gone the way a sunken ship is gone, lost to a deep where no one can follow. It's right there. You can point at the spot. You can stand at the fence and look at the exact hill of dirt and know that underneath it, perfectly preserved or quietly rusting, is the difference between the life you have and the life you almost had. So you build a plan. You assemble a team, data recovery experts, engineers, environmental specialists, people who've pulled working drives out of fires and floods. You offer the city tens of millions. You offer to fund the entire dig yourself, to clean the site, to hand it back better than you found it. You will move a mountain with your bare hands. You just need one person to say yes. They say no. So you take it to court. And in January 2025, a judge looks at your case and rules that the moment that hard drive entered that landfill, it stopped being yours. Under the law, the council owns it now. The Bitcoin may be yours in spirit, but the ground it's buried in is not. You appeal. You lose the appeal, too. No real prospect of success, the court says. And then comes the part that feels almost designed to break you. The city announces it's closing the landfill for good. They're going to cap it, seal it, and turn it into a solar farm. Clean energy. A quiet green field where someday families might walk their dogs. And underneath all of it, sealed away forever, your $500 million. 12 years. That's how long you've chased it. 12 years of interviews and lawyers and excavation blueprints. 12 years of strangers online calling you an idiot. 12 years of explaining to your kids why dad is famous for the worst thing he ever did. You tell people you've made peace with it now. There's a documentary being made about you. You talk about taking it to the European courts, about new strategies, about tokenizing the claim, because the alternative to a new strategy is silence. And silence means sitting alone with the math. But here's what nobody warns you about. The worst part isn't the day you lost it. The worst part is every single day since. The day you have to decide all over again whether to let it go. And every day you can't. Because letting go would mean admitting it was real, that it happened, that 4 forgotten seconds on an ordinary afternoon quietly became the defining fact of your entire life. So you stand at the fence. Somewhere under there is the man you could have been. And you take out your phone and you check the price one more time.